Thank you so much for joining me today for our TownSq demo. My name is Hosanna Hanson, and I will be walking you through an overview of our TownSq platform. As you can see on my screen, this is the home screen of our TownSq platform. The view of the homeowner, the board member, or the community manager is all the same. What changes for each one of those groups is the permissions and the functionalities that they're able to do within our platform, and we'll go over that just a little bit further in our demonstration. As we look here, we can see that all the primary features line up on the left-hand side. This is a full view and a full set of all of our features, but based on the needs of your community, you have the ability to customize and only choose those features that are important or pertinent to your community. I want to start off here just talking about groups. Within TownSq, it was designed and created with three primary users in mind: the homeowner, the board member, and the admin and/or management group. Each one of those in a homeowners association community have an important role to play. Within our platform, users and their permissions are set within a group, what group they are a part of. So as we look here, there's a number of groups. Our board member and our manager group by default have admin, meaning they have the ability to create, they have the ability to see everything that's going on within the community, where a homeowner is only going to see that information that pertains specifically to their unit. So as we walk through this demo, we're going to be seeing through the eyes of a board member or a community manager admin. So we're going to have full admin rights. That being said, you also have the ability to create additional committees or additional groups. So we can see down here a pool committee or a social committee. This allows you, and we walk through the functionality, the ability to communicate with these specific groups further on, or if you just wanted to let them have a subset of permissions to do certain things within TownSq, you'll be able to do that as well through this groups area. The first area that, or set of features that we're going to go through today are going to be that around communication. For news and events, this particular feature allows you to send a message to everyone within your community or one of those groups that we just briefly mentioned. Announcement is going to be a push announcement that you can create, and only an admin or a board member have the ability to create that announcement. A homeowner is someone that's going to be receiving and digesting that information. So only admin are going to have this green button up here. When you select this, you can create a title, description, and if you want it to go to everybody, you can create your announcement, attach a file if needed, and then publish it. If you would like this to only go to a specific group, so let's just say you have an announcement and you want to let your social committee know that you have a meeting coming up, and before the meeting, here's some information that you would like them to review in preparation. You have the ability to select just that specific group, and again, this announcement would then go just to those 10 members on your social committee. So you have the ability to segment announcements, which is really nice. Events, similar to announcement, is going to be in something that is pushed out to the users or to the homeowners. And with this, you're going to have a specific time and date tied to it. So this is great for your board members, committee members, if you're having a picnic for your community. All of this would be a perfect area in which to use the events functionality. Now, the next area that we're going to look at are messages. Messages are going to be a single form of communication from admin or board member to a specific homeowner. Homeowners are not going to have this create button. Only admin have this button. When you select create, you can select the user from your list of registered homeowners, the title of this. You can select a category. All of this can be configured to the specific categories that pertain to your community, and a description. If needed, you could attach a file here and you can send this. Once it's sent to the homeowner will receive it and they have the ability to comment back and forth. So the the thought behind this piece here is to hopefully kind of drive down those emails that you might be getting and able to allow you to respond to a homeowner here within the platform. Should a homeowner need to reach out to the admin or to the board member, they have the ability to do that through a feature called requests. Here, they will have this green button called Open Request where they can create the title, select a category, add a description, attachment if needed, and submit this request. When this request is submitted, the admin or board members will be notified of this request. Again, you have the ability to customize these particular categories, which is really nice. So for example, within your HOA, if you happen to take care of the landscaping, you could have a landscape committee, or excuse me, a landscape category here. And that landscape committee perhaps maybe needs to review those requests. And you can then have that particular committee be notified of any requests that come through. So you do have the ability to kind of help segment those requests, as well as have a specific group be notified once those requests come through. Our next area within our communication features is that of forum. Forum is where we want to help drive engagement. Here is the only place on our platform where potentially a homeowner to homeowner communication can occur. But this is where we would encourage homeowners to post information or questions that they may have. So perhaps they're looking for a great plumber to use and they want the opinions of their homeowners, or maybe they are looking to gather volunteers in the community to help with a toy drive and they want to put it up here and there could be dialogue back and forth. So this is a great place here, again, just to drive that engagement. From your community standpoint, should this be a feature that you opt not to turn on, we'll go over a little bit further down in this description or in the demo, and you'll be able to see that you can turn this on and off. So very easy functionality. Surveys, again, this is another tool to drive engagement. This is not going to replace your legally bound votes that usually occur on your annual meeting. This is more just to get the opinions, again, drive engagement of your community. So perhaps you are thinking about a holiday party and you want to take a poll and see when would be the best date in July, or excuse me, in December on when to do that. So you could create a survey, ask those questions, and poll it. So when we look at this, we can see that you have your options here of what your answers will be, and then you can set a time period in which you want that survey to be open. For that more legally binding vote, digital voting will be one of our premier features. We have just a handful of premier features, and I'll identify them as we go through in the demo. Our premier features are a little bit of an added cost on to our base, but they add great value to your community. So here within digital voting, this is for your legally binding votes that happen at your annual meeting. You are able to create a ballot within TownSq, set your voting time frame, your voting group, which is typically your homeowners, and then create your questions and then the answers that you want to be voted on. Once it is sent out to the community, TownSq itself will continue to remind homeowners if they have not voted until quorum is reached. So this is a great tool. You can set your ballot, you can send it out, and TownSq will do all of the reminding on your behalf. So this is a great feature. There is one caveat here. You just want to make sure that your bylaws and your state statutes allow for this particular feature to be used. But TownSq will walk you through that, and we'll verify with your state just to make sure that this feature is allowed in your state. Our next area is a lobby area. And we call this lobby because these particular set of features are for more of a high-rise type community, or a community where you might have a centralized location where either packages are dropped off and or a gate where you might allow people in and out of your community. So if you have a gated community and it's a manned gated community, access control is a great feature within TownSq that allows the homeowners to create an authorization, letting you know whether a guest or service provider would be allowed on the property. They could set to and from or unlimited. They have the ability to say how many people are going to be with that guest, and should you want to register that vehicle, they can include the license plate number. Once they have submitted this, then a roster then is provided in which you can give, so let's say it's a guarded gate. You can give your guardhouse the ability to have access to just this feature within TownSq. And when the guest or the service provider comes onto the property, the guard can look up the user and they can manually check them in or out here using this button. Or when the authorization is sent, that user will receive an email from that guest, and that will have a QR code. This particular QR code, and I'll show you this here, can then be shown to the guard and they can scan it in. And with that scan, it would then check them in or out of the property. Our package control allows you to add packages with a scanner similar. You can do it with your phone. The phone will scan the label. That label will be read. It'll identify the homeowner or match their unit or their address. It'll fill in and populate this information, and you can add it. Once the package is added, the homeowner will receive a message letting them know that a package is available for them to pick up. When they come to pick it up, the list of existing packages was here. They can select the package that they're picking up. Whoever is manning the station can add a note and can check them in and out. Our shift logs, this is primarily, again, for a concierge type service, or if you have staff at a manned gate or at a manned centralized location, and that staff is changing back and forth. This is just allow those staff members to leave notes for that next team member that might be coming in. So again, this is more for a high-rise type community or a community that might have a centralized lobby. And if these particular features are not of use, that's no problem. We can go ahead and turn those off for you. Our next area are amenities. So if your community has amenities that are rented out and you need to man that, you have the ability to set that up here. The amenity could be set up. You can set up the specific timeframes in which a homeowner could rent the property, the parameters around that. And all of this is very customizable and can be configured to the specific needs of your particular community. The next area is document. Document storage, this is a great feature. What this will allow you to do and what we recommend as best practices is to put any document here that a homeowner requests. So whether it's meeting minutes or announcements, newsletters, or applications, our recommendation is to go ahead and put all of those documents here. So at a homeowner's fingertips, they're able to pull up some information that they may need and be able to download that for their use. Within this particular feature, you are able to make certain categories private and only allow certain groups of people to see this. So this is really good use for the board members where you can upload those board financials and make it private. So only those board members are able to view it. You could also do this for certain committees as well as just keeping things that applications or things of that nature. So there's a lot of flexibility within the documents area. Our documents, you can create these categories and name them specific to the needs of your community. And each category also has the ability to have subcategories as well. Architecture review feature. This is one of our newer premium features. This is a workflow tool. It is an amazing tool for those communities that have the architecture review application. What this allows is for the homeowner on their side to submit the application via TownSq. Once this application has been submitted, it would then notify your architecture review committee or board, whoever reviews all of those applications. So this view right here are the number of applications that are currently in queue. Once that committee or board is notified of that application, they're able to open it up. They can view the application as a committee. They can dialogue back and forth about the communication. So you're not chasing down emails. All of that dialogue is right here within the application, and it is held private. Only those committee members can see that. But should you have questions that you want to ask the homeowner, you have the ability here. You can see this checkbox to send to homeowner. You can send a message to the homeowner. Hey, Bob, can you please include a picture of the front door that you wish to paint? And Bob then would just see that one particular note pertaining to that question that was asked to him. Once that review process has been done, you collect all the information and images that you need. You can then set it to vote. Here we can see that this particular committee has 3 members. None of them have voted quite yet as this box is grayed out. But once they vote, either approved with conditions, or decline, you're going to see this either green or red. Once it has reached its minimum votes or minimum percentage, a verdict letter is going to be created on your behalf as a committee to review. And I'm going to click out here and go to another application where the verdict letter is ready. So this particular application, we see that the verdict letter is ready. This project was declined. Before it is sent off to the homeowner, you have the ability to review. So a template letter is set up. The decline has been noted, the reasons for that decline. So you can review this as a committee member. You can make additions or edits should you want to. And once you save and publish the verdict letter, the homeowner then will be notified via messages of the verdict and the reasons for either the approval or the decline. Websites is another one of our premium features. I like to think of our website as more of a vanity or a marketing tool for your particular community. This isn't primarily going to be for your homeowners, but it's going to be for those who are interested in joining your community. Within TownSq, we've just made it a one-stop shop for your admin or your board. So you have the ability to configure it and to edit and make all of your changes here within TownSq. If you have a custom URL for your HOA, we are able to direct that to that custom URL on your behalf. You can select a logo, select your own images, or use some of our stock images that we have here. We have a couple templates that you can choose from, and once those templates have been chosen, we have created some default pages for you. These default pages have some sample verbiage around communities, welcoming them into the community. You can edit those pages, or should you choose to create your own, you have the ability to do that as well. We can go ahead and preview this site here, and this is an example of one of our external websites. Finally, assignments is a feature that is primarily for your board members and or your management company. Here, when you think about your board meetings and you have action items after each board, here is where you would want to list those action items. So you could create an assignment, note who it is assigned to, the description of it, your category, and then it allows you to set due dates. And so here you can see the list of action items, when they're due, if they've been completed or if they're in progress. If you have a question, you have the ability to go in and ask Bob about the elevators and just verify that this particular task has been done, and there's able to be dialogue back and forth. So it allows the board members to see exactly where those action items are, which ones have been completed and not completed. And so this is a great tool just to kind of help with that transparency and to keep everybody on the same page. As I had discussed earlier, the configuration of TownSq is quite easy. Within the settings here, we can see all of our features on the left-hand side, and our settings from a configuration standpoint is just a mere toggle on and off. So as your community, as you decide what features are going to be best utilize for your community, you have the ability. So we can see over here, I'm just going to toggle this open for a moment, access control. So if this was something that you didn't want to use, you could just easily toggle it off as admin. And we're going to see that that disappears over here. The other nice thing is if you opt to turn a feature off initially, but later on during the use of TownSq, if you want to turn something on, turning it on is just as easy as turning it off. So it's currently toggled off, so any user coming in, they wouldn't see it. But if you decided a little bit later that you wanted to use this feature, it's just in your toggle and it can turn that on. Next steps. So now that you've seen the TownSq demo, if you would still like to know some more information about TownSq pricing, how it could specifically work with your community, go ahead and refer back to the email and schedule time with one of our sales representatives to walk you through those next steps. Thank you so much for taking time to walk through a demo with me today.